ake ya uzosifayahile naye
Ngiyakhala nje manje.
serious
Ngikhuluma ngale nto kade ekhala manje.
no you must get a psychologist abone nabantu.
Sifisa Ncwane uthi-ke ngipholise amanxeba namhlanje emsakazweni wakhe imba kodwa ikhani kusasa lesizwe sizwe selivele umsakazo wakho siphuma-ke kuyona leya ngxoxo leyana ade khona nensizwa yakwaBlose ebisihlale iminyaka eyi-16 ingaphakathi ngecala-ke angalenzanga insizwa kaBlose. Sesekhona-ke nomfundisi siyazi ukuthi namhlanje usuku olukhulu kakhulu kubazalwane kumaKristu wonke emhlabeni wonke-ke sikhuluma indaba yokuthi-ke umenyuko Ascension Day sokwazi ukuthi namhlanje special umfundisi uThabo kaMahlobo angene kulona lo daba. Mfundisi athatha lethuba libingelela abalali emakhaya ekseni.
Siyabingelela babusotobe, siyabingelela nakubalaleli emakhaya egameni elihle lenkosi yethu uJesu Kristu ngelanga lomenyuko. Yes.
Yebo sakhula impela kusho kanjalo kuthiwa ilanga lomenyuko. Mfundisi ake sivele nje singene usithatha usibeke ngalo usuku la namhlanje.
Yeah man, si communicate izolo ukuthi let us honor this day. By the way, happy Ascension Day kubona bonke abazalwane. All those whose names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life. This is a very fundamental day kithi. Ngiyasikhumbuza ukuthi nesikhonza inkosi engafani namanye amakhosi. Sikhonza uNkulunkulu ongafani nabanye uNkulunkulu. So siyathanda nje ukudlulisa. By the way, and also this means ukuthi it's exactly 40 days after iPhasika. Mangabe umuntu onakayo, it's exactly 40 days after iPhasika. Kuhlale izwi kaNkulunkulu nje ngisaqala. I'll share a very short message ngoba ngisaya nasekhaya. I'll be live again ngo10 ngiyoshare izwi kaNkulunkulu nakhona. iBhayibheli lithi what manner of love is this, as we discuss some issues ama relationship. I just want to say ukuthi alukho uthando oludlula lolu, you know, izwi kaNkulunkulu encwadini kaJohane wokuqala chapter number 3 verses 1 lithi nebhekana uthando olungaka sinike lona ubaba lokuba sithiwe singabantwana bakaNkulunkulu futhi siyibo. What manner of love, I mean what love can supersede uthando uNkulunkulu asithandile ngalo singafanele. We didn't deserve ukubuyisana kanye naye, we didn't deserve ukuxolelwa izono, kodwa uNkulunkulu and still uyasithanda unconditionally. Makuthiwa khona umuntu ongabeki ama conditions ukuze akuthande uNkulunkulu. So this is a reminder ukuthi we were loved and we are still being loved. uNkulunkulu uyosithanda kuyoze kube sekugcineni, irrespective ukuthi simona futhi simphoxa kangakanani. But ke bekuyi side note leyo, ngifuna ukuthinta nje izinto ezimbalwa phecelezi. I'm going to preach in a very systematic way namhlanje. Ngine title ye message ethi the implications of his resurrections. The implications of his resurrection and ascension. Ave kubalekile ukuthi akagcinanga when we speak of the gospel, mangabe sikhuluma ngevangeli, the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, ivangeli lenkosi yethu uJesu Kristu. Sikhuluma about him being prophesied. Sikhuluma about him ezalwa, sikhuluma about his birth, sikhuluma about his life. Him being prophesied, his birth, his life, his death, his resurrection, and lastly his second coming. Esebuya ke engasesilo iwundlu nemvu. iBhayibheli lithi loyo bona umbone encwadini yesambulo ethi ngabona loyo owathi mangabe vela ubuso bakhe babalekelwa izulu nomhlaba. You know, when he comes back, abanye bethu siyakhohla ukuthi he is going to come back as a righteous king and a judge. Uzobuya njengomahluleli owahlulela ngokulunga no naloyo ke umbuso wakhe oyoma kuze kube nginaphakade. I'm getting ahead of myself. Ngifuna uqala la ukuthi his resurrection number 1, masikhuluma about ama implications of his resurrection and ascension. Okay, this is njengoba ngishilo, this is 40 days emveni kokuvuka kwakhe masifunda izwi likaNkulunkulu. Mhlambe ngiqale la, ngiyayithanda lento, kuyahlala enhlizweni yami ukuthi ngiyithinte ngidlule kuyona. You must remember ukuthi uJesu is not only God. Theologically, that is fundamental to belief system yethu ukuthi he is God. Ngeke ngayikhuluma lento le ukuthi izazi zake zahlangana zaphikisana, you know, the whole concept of i-Trinity sokhuluma ngayo ngelinye ilanga. Abaningi aba-understand ukuthi it was a very difficult concept to comprehend ngesikhathi in the early church mangase ngisho njalo. Kwafanele ukuthi kuhlale phansi i-discuss lento le and ibandla be reminded of izwi likaNkulunkulu encwadini yabaseFilippi chapter number 2 ukuthi umpostoli Paul uma ngabe khuluma ukuthi owathi elingana noNkulunkulu, him being an equal to God, kodwa bese lithi iBhayibheli, he stripped himself of all his divine attributes. He stripped himself of all the qualities that made God to be God, so that he can live amongst us, so that ezophila njengathi sonke, angagcini ngokuphila njengathi sonke, afe ukufa okudelelekile, afe ukufa konjandini. iBhayibheli lithi afe ukufa kwehlazo, you know. And I keep reminding people, you know, lezi zinto lezi sithatha kancane sis understand ukuthi if you think back and if you meditate around the issue ukuthi if he came emhlabeni with all those qualities, divine qualities, and uNkulunkulu ayena, he was never going to die ngoba uNkulunkulu akafi, you know. Ngisho wayengabethelwe esiphambaneni wayengakazafe because uNkulunkulu, God has been God from eternity past to the eternity coming. He will still be God. iBhayibheli lithi nguyizolo namhlanje naphakade, he remains unchanging. So ukuba uKristu wayeza nalama attributes emhlabeni, there was no way he was going to be able to fulfill i-assignment le ayifulfilla esifunda ngayo ezwini kaNkulunkulu. Now ngifuna ukudlula lana ukuthi besides and on top of being God, remember ukuthi he is a historical figure. He is a siyabonga ukuthi asishumayeli nganekwane, siyabonga ukuthi asishumayeli into engaziwanga engarekhodwanga ndawo. Siyambonga uNkulunkulu. Ngifuna uqala ngezwi likaNkulunkulu elitholakala laphana encwadini kaLuka. uLuka obhale incwadi kaLuka nencwadi yezenzo esizoyifunda. Ngifuna ubuke la indlela achaza ngayo mangabe khuluma uthi Luka 1 verses number 1 uthi njengokuba abaningi sebezamile ukulanda ngokuhlelekile, njengokuba abaningi sebezamile ukulanda ngokuhlelekile ngalezo zindaba ezigcwaliseke phakathi kwethu. Ngamanye amazwi, this is a systematic and well organized account of ama-events enzeke ngesikhathi sethu. uJohane usho njalo, uLuka. Remember ukuthi this is a historian okhuluma la, a medical profession and a historian. Kwangasiyo nje umuntu othatha uchance. Ngiyayithanda amplified ngoba ithi since many have undertaken to put in order and draw up a thorough narrative of the surely established deeds which have been accomplished and fulfilled in and amongst us. Uyabona ukuthi izwi likaNkulunkulu lithi this is a thorough narrative and surely and established. Ngamanye amazwi, there has been a research around this narrative. Uyabona ke abesethene ku verse 3 athi uLuka umekhuluma nami as a researcher, nami as a profession. Ku verse 3 amplified ithi it seemed good and desirable, and so I have determined also, after having searched out diligently and followed all things closely and traced accurately the course from the highest to the meanest detail, from the very first, to write an orderly account for you, O most excellent Theophilus. Uyabona uthi nami ke it seemed good and desirable to me to search out diligently. Now ngifuna ukuthini bazalwane kuthina, ngifuna ukuthi ungayithathi kancane lento esikhuluma ngayo, because this is a searched out narrative. This is a diligently followed document ngokuphila, ngokufa, nokuvuka, nokunyuka kukaKristu. Even though namhlanje sifunda ngokunyuka. Na ngifuna understand ukuthi masikhuluma ngalento, this is a proper researched historical account ukuthi waphila, wafa, wavuka, wanyuka phambi kwabo bemibona. uyabona ke uLuka ke now abafundi beBhayibheli bayaphikisana ukuthi ene uTheophilus kwakubani lo ayikhuluma naye, but we understand ukuthi ene uTheo ngoba usebenzisa the term elithi ene oh most excellent Theophilus, it's a term evelayo nasencwadini yezenzo mangabe addressa uFelix who was a governor at that time. Ngamanye amazwi this was a title ebinganikezwa noma ubani. This was a title ebinikezwa umuntu ohloniphekile ngaleso sikhathi and onama resources nama funds to commission i-research and nokuthi kube nocwaningo ngodaba oluthile nangomuntu othile. On this case uTheophilus actually commissioned uJohane to search out ama accounts okumenyezelwa nokuzalwa nokuphila nokufa nokuvuka kukaKristu, and therefore we can trust this account. Ngifuna ukuthi kwena mntaka baba ungayithathi nje lento iBhayibheli oyifundayo uyithathe njengento eyinganekwane. It's an authentic account of ama events okuphila kwenkosi yethu uJesu Kristu. Now ke incwadi ayibhalayo uLuka mangabe se addressa ibandla lapha esifunda incwadini yezenzo uqala ngokuthi ne incwadi yokuqala ngayiloba mangabe ekhuluma naye futhi Theophilus, izenzo chapter 1 verses 1 uthi incwadi yokuqala ngayiloba Theophile ngakho konke uJesu aqala ukwenza nokukufundisa kwaze kwaba lusuku akhushulwa ngalo esebayalile ngomoya oyingcwele. Ngamanye amazwi ulokhunjana uLuka is doing part 2 uyamtshela this respectable figure la ukuthi njengoba ngakulobela izindaba zenkosi yethu uJesu Kristu konke uJesu aqala ukwenza nokukufundisa manje ke sengikulobela I'm taking off emveni kokukhuphuka kwakhe. And then izwi likaNkulunkulu ke bese lithi lapha ya mhlambe mangase ngithathe no okay noma ngizogcina ngalo leli the implications of his ascension. Number 1, it established our Lord Jesus Christ as the reigning king with all powers in all ages. It established our Lord Jesus Christ as the reigning king over all powers and all ages. Incwadi yezenzo noma ngithi incwadi yabasefesu chapter number 1 verses 20 and 21 quickly mangase siye lapho ukufakazela lokhu is Ephesians, the book of Ephesians chapter number 1 verses 20 and 21. iBhayibheli lifundeka kanje lithi Nkosi yami amandla asebenze ngawo noma ku19 ngobukhulu obumangalisayo bamandla akhe kithina esikholwayo ngokusebenza kwamandla akhe amakhulu asebenze ngawo kuKristu emvusa kwabafileyo wamhlalisa ngakwesokunene sakhe ezulwini ngaphezulu kwakho konke ukubusa noma yonke imibuso naphezulu kwalo lonke igunya namandla nobukhosi namagama onke aphathwayo kulelizwe noma kungekulelizwe lodwa kepha nakulo elizwayo. This is why sithi lawo mandla awasebenzisa ukumvusa kwabafileyo wamnyusa futhi wayohlala ngakwesokunene sakhe sikababa ekhaya ezulwini. Ukunyuka kukaKristu kwam-establisha as the reigning king over all powers and in all ages. That's number 1. Number 2, ukunyuka kwenkosi yethu uJesu Kristu, it actually gives us the access to the Lord's throne of mercy and grace. His ascension gives us an access to God's throne for mercy and grace. Izwi laNkulunkulu encwadini yamaHebheru chapter number 4 liyakufakazela lokho esikhuluma ngako manje ukuthi we have the access ngenxa yokunyukela kwakhe, hayi ngenxa yokuvuka. Ukuvuka was never enough. Ukuvuka was never enough. He had to ascend to the heavenlies so that we can gain access. Izwi laNkulunkulu encwadini yamaHebheru chapter number 4 verses 14 lithi ngakho ke lokhu sinompristi omkhulu kakhulu odabulile amazulu. That is an ascension language. Mangabe izwi laNkulunkulu likhuluma ngokudabula amazulu, that is an ascension language, ukukhuphuka lokho udlule emazulwini. Ngakho ke lokhu sinompristi omkhulu kakhulu odabulile amazulu. Akusiyo nje umpristi lo ofana nabanye abapristi abagcina ngokungena endaweni engcwele eyenziwe ngezandla. Izwi laNkulunkulu lithi nodabulile amazulu uJesu indodana kaNkulunkulu kaNkulunkulu masibambelele kuso isivumo sethu. Now I keep emphasizing ukuthi biblically izwi kaNkulunkulu mangabe likhuluma ukuthi udabulile amazulu, it simply means ukuthi he has ascended on high and he is pleading for us in the heavenlies. Akasinxuseli nje eBhayibhelini mangabe izwi kaNkulunkulu lisifundisa ukuthi iThempeli was only a symbol. Bese uMaster Paul encwadini yamaHebheru umthetho wawuyisithunzi, it was only a shadow. Akasinxuseli esithunzini, usinxusela in the actual presence, in the actual presence of our Father. Now his ascension has that implication ukuthi ukhona njengamanje uyasinxusela. And then number 3, the implication of his ascension means that it actually provides us an advocate on earth whose presence is limitless. UJesu ngesayifunda incwadi chapter 1 izenzo uthi kumele ngihambe kuze yena afike. Uyasho njalo nasencwadini kaJohane ukuthi it's very important ngenxa ukuthi mina even though sengivukile kwabafile, but ngenxa yokuthi I am in a physical body, nginama limitations, angikwazi kuba khona yonke indawo. But uma ngabe umoya kaNkulunkulu esefikile, izwi kaNkulunkulu lisitshela ukuthi uyasinxusela sonke. So we understand ukuthi njengoba izwi kaNkulunkulu lisifundisa encwadini kaJohane chapter number 14 verses 16 to 17, uthi uJesu mekhuluma, but verily I tell you, it is for your good that I may go away. Unless I go away, noma go up if you like. Oh, yes. Unless I go up, unless I ascend in heaven, the advocate will not come for you. But if I go, I will send him to you. If I go, I will send him to you. iBhayibheli lithi eneke basifunda izwi kaNkulunkulu incwadi yezenzo lithi uma ngabe senyukile bembheka ekhuphukela phezulu, wabatshela ke wathi abahlale ngoba kwakubalekile ukuthi ufezeke lo mbhalo ukuthi if I go, I will send him. If I do not go, yes, I will not be able to send him. Uyabona ukhona umoya kaNkulunkulu siphila naye, we commune nomoya kaNkulunkulu, umoya engcwele ngenxa ukuthi he had to go, he ascended on the heavenlies. Wayesiyamthumela yena njengokufunda njengoba sifunda lapha izwi kaNkulunkulu ukuthi unless I go away, the advocate will not come to you, but if I ascend, if I go, I will be able to send him. Mangabe njengoba sene it's 40 days namhlanje emveni kokuvuka kwenkosi yethu uJesu Kristu. In 10 days to come we celebrate iPentecost. Ngamanye amazwi emveni kokunyuka kwakhe 10 days later mangabe uJesu ethe abahlale balinde, kusho ukuthi kulo 10 days kwaba ikhani kufika umoya kaNkulunkulu, bese lithi iBhayibheli ibandla laba ababelindile bagcwaliswa babhabhadiswa ngamandla kaMoya Engcwele. We celebrate that ngelanga lePentecost. And then number 4, his fourth implication of his ascension, it gives us the spoils of war. Uyabona mangabe kuliwa khona lento esibiza ngokuthi ama spoils of war, amakhosi mangabe yolwa kude khona izinto abuya nazo. Uyabona abuye nesigqoko senkosi, abuye nomqhele wenye inkosi, abuye nomkhonto wenye inkosi nenkemba yenye inkosi. Uyabona iBhayibheli lisifundisa ukuthi when he ascended on high, he gave he gave to some phecelezi lokho esikubiza ngokuthi ama 5 ascension gift. Ingakho abanye bekubiza kanjalo, bengakubizi nje ngokuthi these are 5-fold ministry gift, but abanye bakubiza ngokuthi these are 5 ascension gifts. Ngoba uma ngabe senyukile wakwenza lokho, uma ngabe senyukile to give some ama gift to be prophets, some to be apostles, some to be evangelists, some to be teachers, some to be pastors. Wakwenza lokho, we got those spoils of war according to izwi kaNkulunkulu, Ephesians chapter number 4 verses 11. Those spoils of war, because uma ngabe senqobile wanyuka, he then empowered some men and women amongst us, yes, so that they can train and equip the church for the work of the ministry. But izwi kaNkulunkulu lisifundisa ukuthi lokho wakwenza ngokuthi anyuke qala ahambe. When he ascended uma ngabe nyuka, he then gave lawo ma gift ebandleni lakhe. Lapha ngiyayithanda incwadi yamaHubo chapter 68 verses 17 to 18, Psalms 68 verses 17 to 18 lithi iBhayibheli acting in the role of God himself in Psalms ulokhunjana uDavid lithi Christ had triumphed over the cosmic forces and array against God's people. Uyabona mangabe sifunda izwi kaNkulunkulu lapho. So we got our spoils of war through the ascension of our Lord Jesus Christ. And then number 5, the last one ngiyayithanda le ukuthi his ascending on high keeps us longing for his return. That's number 5. His ascending, noma his ascension on high, if we may read lapha izwi kaNkulunkulu encwadini yezenzo chapter number 1 verses 11 lithi iBhayibheli ke bathi noma ngiqale ku verse 10 noma ku verse 9 kwathi aseshilo lokho wakhushulwa bebuka ifu lamsusa emehlweni abo bathi besagqolozele ezulwini emuka bheka amadoda amabili ayemi kubo embethe izingubo ezimhlophe. Verse 11 athi madoda aseGalile nimeleni nibheke ezulwini uJesu lo osuswe kini enyusele ezulwini uyakuza njalo njengalokho nimbonile eya ezulwini. We look forward, silindele bazalwane, we look forward to that day where his kingdom shall be established, his kingdom and reign will be permanently established. Njengamanje noma sishilo number 1 ukuthi actually establishes uJesu negama lakhe nombuso wakhe, but ikhona imibuso yobumnyama. uJesu mekhuluma encwadini kaJohn uthi uNkulunkulu walelizwe. You see khona imibuso yobumnyama that Bible bese lithi and nathi even though we walk in the flesh and blood, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. Kusho ukuthi khona imimoya esawuresista umbuso wokhanya, umbuso wenkosi yethu uJesu Kristu. Masifunda ngelinye ilanga amadimoni mangabe hlangana noJesu athi indodana yomuntu usihluphelani ngoba isikhathi sethu asikakafiki. But on that day awumadoda we look forward zisho njalo ke insizwa zithi uJesu lo enimbonile ekhuphuka futhi uyobuya kuyona le intaba yeminqumo. When we read the prophecies about the end time, izwi kaNkulunkulu lithi njengalokho nimbonile eya ezulwini uzobuya futhi lo osusokini uzobuya abuye ngayo lendlela. Siyambonga kuNkulunkulu ukuthi his ascension keeps us longing for his return. Oh, by the way, we must remind the church of our Lord Jesus Christ ukuthi uzobuya ngelinye ilanga. Uzobuya loyo bona umbono encwadini yesambulo uthi uma ngabe buya bonke abakhulu nabancane bayoma phambi kwesihlalo sokwahlulela sikaKristu bayilande ngemisebenzi abayenzile. Izwi kaNkulunkulu encwadini incwadi yabaseKorinte besibili chapter number 5 Apostle Paul ku verse 10 uthi thina sonke akekho yolibalekela leli langa, thina sonke abakhulu nabancane simelwe, we must simelwe ukubonakaliswa phambi kwesihlalo sokwahlulela sikaKristu sizilande ngemisebenzi esiyenzile. Siyambonga bathandekayo uNkulunkulu ukuthi njengoba anyuka iBhayibheli liyasithembisa futhi ukuthi uyobuya. So his ascension is actually preparing a stage ukuthi ngelinye ilanga iBhayibheli ke liyasikhumbuza sengivala lithi sigade ngokuphazima kweso. Uyabona lesi sikhathi le season esidlula kuyona njengamanje ye coronavirus na wonke ama events enzekayo njengamanje, I believe uNkulunkulu uyasikhumbuza ukuthi ukusonga komhlaba kuyinto elula engenzeka ngokuphazima kweso. So be blessed bazalwane, be encouraged ukuthi ukwenyuka kwakhe kwaba nama implications. We enjoy ubukhona bukamoya kaNkulunkulu namhlanje because he ascended on high. iBhayibheli lisifundisa ukuthi kumele ngikhuphuke kuze ngimthumele yena umduduzi. His ascension actually gave us the spoils of war, kwasinikeza iphiwo, and siyambonga ke phezulu konke uNkulunkulu ukuthi this is a historical fact that can never be disputed. Siyambonga uNkulunkulu ukuthi sikhonza inkosi engafani namanye amakhosi. Be blessed lapho nikhona. Have a wonderful day. We are praying with you. We are praying for the healing. We are praying for healing upon our nation, upon this country. Siyambonga uNkulunkulu ukuthi ngemvimbo yakhe saphiliswa, asikhulumi ngokufa kwakhe nokuvuka, but this is a reminder mangabe sihambile ukuthi wahamba umsebenzi esewuqedile. So be blessed bathandekayo, we love you. You can get in touch kanye nathi ku 072-226-2271. You can get in touch kanye nathi khona la ku Facebook Thami Mahlobo. You can get in touch kanye nathi Thami.Mahlobo ku Instagram. We love you and we are praying for you. uNkulunkulu anibusise.
Amen. Mfundisi, sebonga mfundisi, sikhona kusasa.